Iommi tone. I mean, like, is anybody more iconic in metal, really? I mean, let's be honest here. Some of the early Sabbath recordings of guitar tone was a little fried sounding, maybe not quite as high-tech as we get these days, but there is definitely a certain charm and a certain longevity to those records. I mean, like, I love them, you love them, everybody loves them. They're just phenomenal. And if you're going to track down that early Black Sabbath sound, the easiest way to do that is with the right gear, and starting with this guy right here, the Laney LA Studio. This is a studio amp. It's in the freaking title. This is not a stage amp because it's only 3 watts. No, that's not a misprint. 3 whole watts, that's all you get. But the cool thing is it's got a 2-notes torpedo built into the back of it. So you get a real tube amp, very low powered tube amp, but a real tube amp with all the goods on the back and for recording. So this is great, especially if you want that low-tech kind of sound. I mean, you guys heard the mix there for a sec, but I mean, like, just straight out of the box with no monkeying around, no nothing. It's very much... Let me just check my tuning there. Fucking tune this already. Great, I'm running some high output Fishmans here. Yeah, it's very nice. Let's try pulling it out. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Yeah, very nice. Not exactly giving you what you'd call skull-crushing metal tones, that's for sure. Now, the cool thing is, like the original Supergroup amps, it has 4 inputs. At least I'm pretty sure the Supergroup amps had 4 inputs. At least that's been the pictures I've seen. If I'm wrong, you know, feel free to correct me. And if I'm wrong, I'm sure you guys will. That's what I love about you guys. Whenever I make a mistake, you make sure to let me know. Anyway, that's what's great about you guys. Anyway, 4 inputs here on the front. And, you know, one's bass, one's treble. And you can jump the inputs. I mean, is it making a gigantic difference in tone? I don't know. Let's go into the treble input. Maybe it's giving a bit more twang. Okay, so, you know, we got the gain about medium here, but I mean, like, this amp's designed to be, you know, cranked up. So let's crank this up all the way. See what kind of gain we get. Yeah, it's a little sludgy, it's a little slimy. It's cool though. This is definitely not a modern metal gent monster, that's for sure. So let's jump the inputs here and see what we get. Okay, not too bad. Now, of course, Tony was famous for using a treble booster pedal in front of his amp to get even more gain out. We have to have something very similar here. We've got the Black Country Customs Tony Iommi signature. Let's kick this guy on and, yeah, see what it... Okay, now we're definitely starting to get into familiar territory. Here's the thing about getting the Tony tone. The amp is only one half of the equation. The other half, the one thing everybody overlooks, is the speaker. You really do need to get the speakers. And I know Tony Iommi had Laney cabinets loaded with Goodmans, not Celestians, but Goodman speakers. And they just happen to have a model up for grabs on the 2-note site. Now, the amp itself does come with Torpedo remote, and it comes with loaded with 6 cabs and a whole bunch of other stuff that you can download and check out. We're going to go over that in a minute. But the actual old school Goodman speaker loaded cabinet, you actually have to buy as a separate download. It's like $10 or something like that. It's no big deal. For me anyway, I did even a little bit more homework and took a wild guess that the mic that they were probably using on some of those early records was not an SM57, because back in the day, SM57s were made in America and weren't exactly cheap, especially to import them into the UK because of all kinds of trade laws and whatnot. But Sennheiser MD421s, those were a different story. Those were a lot more affordable, especially for, smaller UK studios back in the late 60s, early 70s and whatnot. They were much more available. You watch all kinds of old videos from that era, and even the singers are singing into 421s because those were the mics to have. So I've set this up here in the Torpedo studio with a MD421, and we're going to plug in. I'm going to go grab my Harley Benton double cut, and we're going to go old school Black Sabbath here in just one sec. Yeah, that felt great, honestly. This guitar with that cab and this amp, ooh, that was real close to that old school Sabbath kind of tone. Now, the pedal settings here, everything's pretty much cranked, as I guess Tony probably would have had it. And across the board here, again, everything's pretty much cranked. It's definitely delivering the goods, though, in terms of that tone. Okay, that's everything cranked to 10 right there. Just brought the bass up a little bit more for a little bit of a fatter tone. Definitely it seems to be doing the job, that's for sure. And that's the thing, back in the old days, that's exactly how they did. They just crank everything to 10. The only great thing about this is it's only a 3-watt amp and not 100 watts. That way we don't have to melt concrete to get those kind of tones, which is kind of nice. It's really great that, in the modern age, we figured out a way how to get that overloading amp sound without, like damaging our hearing. So that's a big plus in my book. I really like being able to hear. I like having a full spectrum, just actually being able to hear what the hell is going on and still being able to mix at the end of the day after tracking guitar. Now, of course, the amp is great. The 2 notes is great. But like I said, this thing is a studio machine. And what do we use those for? To play songs in a full mix. Hit it!
I will give you the
like to thank Eric T for the vocals and Eric Arco on bass for helping out on that one. Thanks so much, guys. That was a lot of fun. Now, just to quickly look over what we've got here. I mean, the 2 notes cabinet stuff, it's all really cool. If I pull up what's in the Torpedo here, these are the actual presets that come with the amp. Oh, hang on, those are different holes. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, nope. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, okay, that cathedral's interesting too. A little noisy though. Okay, just looking over some of the features of the LA Studio. It's got a power break, so you can go from like 0.3 watts through the full 3 watts. You'd be surprised though, you plug this little bastard into a cabinet, it's actually fairly loud. You might actually be able to keep up with a drummer, that's for sure, especially with the power break off. It's not bad, it's pretty impressive, and yeah, if you're after that old school kind of sludgy distortion sound, this thing's definitely delivering the goods. You got your 3-band EQ and a presence knob, and your gain knob. The weird thing is this amp does not have a volume knob. So you just got to kind of play with it and use the power break basically. So it does really quiet or really loud. There's nothing too much in between unless you turn everything down. It's a little weird. It's a little different. It's definitely not a modern voiced amp, and that's absolutely fine. You know, I've got a million amps in my collection here that all kind of are variations on a theme. This thing is a very different beast, and that's a good thing, especially if you're a studio guy. Of course, we got the 2 notes in the back, and you can manually control all the cabinets and all the setups and that from the back. There's like a little position switch there, and you know, all the usual MIDI connections, speaker outs, all that good stuff, plus an XLR out, and that's how I got it going right now. I'm going right out of the Laney's mic level output into a Neve 1073 OPX, and it's definitely delivering the good. All right, finally got that one. So just looking at the whole thing, this comes loaded with their Dyne IRs, 2 which are from Laney and 8 from 2 notes, and these are also further Dyne IRs available on registration. Cool. And again, that goes through all the presets with the 2 notes Torpedo software. And yeah, just plug it directly in from USB to your computer to take control of it, and then take your mic output and into your interface, away you go. No cabinet necessary, it's all covered here. And yeah, like I said, it really does the trick. It does a very, very nice job. I'm a big fan of hybrid recording systems in general. I have been ever since I started doing this show, when I first got my hands on my very first 2 notes. So the fact that it's, you know, coming integrated in more and more amps, I think is really freaking amazing. Anyway, that's the Laney LA Studio. If you're looking to upgrade your studio or find a neat little recording amp that works as a really cool pedal platform, yeah, this might just fit the bill, especially if you're a big time pedal geek. Myself, I tend to prefer, you know, keep my pedals few and far between. I'm like hooking up with a Mahler, going for a little bit more of a modern metal thing. it definitely delivers the goods, so we can do the modern thing. But yeah, if you're into that old school Black Sabbath sound, the Tony Iommi signature booster pedal from Laney is probably going to do the trick just fine. That's for sure. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching, and please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be taking a look in the very near future at a Laney 4x10 cab that I found that's got some really cool speakers in it, and it's fairly rare. It's definitely going to be worth sticking around for that video as well. Maybe I'll even have some free IRs up for grab on that one too. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.